A rather clever psychological operation is currently in the works, and this psyop derives its power from leveraging the hatred of a mass amount of people for one or two guys, and that's Andrew and Tristan Tate. Let me read to you what the Florida Attorney General says here, and then we're going to get into part of the interview that Candace Owens conducted with Andrew Tate. We're going to listen to this, but we need to listen to it through the lenses of liberty and not through any kind of personal bias about how good or bad you think Andrew Tate is or how worthy he is of being prosecuted and persecuted. This guy says, and this is Attorney General James Uthmeyer, he says, last week I directed my office to work with our law enforcement partners to conduct a preliminary inquiry into Andrew and Tristan Tate. What if that was, I'm going to conduct a preliminary inquiry into fill in the blank of the person who lives in the state of Florida? What if it was you? Based on a thorough review of the evidence, what evidence? Evidence of what? I've directed the Office of Statewide Prosecution to execute search warrants and issue subpoenas in the now active criminal investigation into the Tate brothers. What crime do you suspect Andrew and Tristan Tate of committing? Here's what happens. When they flew into Florida, they were immediately met at the airport with agents who confiscated their electronics, including their phones and their laptop. Listen to this. This is crazy because if you accept this for Andrew and Tristan Tate, no matter what you think about them, you're accepting it for yourself. And I think Candace Owens does a really good job of exposing this. Check it out.
And then before we bring Andrew on, I also want to run the clip of what Ron DeSantis said, okay? Again, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate have not been convicted of any crimes overseas. So I don't care about investigations that are ongoing or videos that you saw on X. They are returning home and they are responding to an outrage mob, okay? Ron DeSantis is being texted by a bunch of his neocon lieutenants, and this is what he had to say at his press conference.
Governor, there's some reporting out there that controversial podcaster and accused human trafficker Andrew Tate may be on his way to Florida. Is he welcome here? What could the state do to send him back to Romania or whatever?
Well, we have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media. Clearly, the federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening.
So there you have it, you guys. He just instantly said, we're going to go after him and we will make something happen. And they did it in a couple of days. Andrew, I want to bring you in right now to respond to this. I'm shocked. I can't even imagine how you're feeling right now. You're probably finally thought after 3 years of Romania just essentially saying you're not allowed to leave your house, took them forever to even bring charges against you, that when you land on American soil, okay, great, at least I'm in a place where there will be due process and there won't be these sorts of witch hunts.
Yeah, I believed it was the land of the free and the home of the brave. And I was extremely disappointed when I landed. I'm not intimidated by these people.
First of all, Andrew's not a dumb guy. I don't know how you could think it's the land of the free, home of the brave, when we've still got things like gun confiscation laws, red flag gun confiscation laws. We got the Patriot Act. We got the war on drugs, which isn't a war on drugs. It's a war on people. We have the prison industrial complex. And we have a whole bunch of law enforcement officers, about 920,000 of them, continually trampling on the rights of Americans in the name of protecting and serving. So I don't know where Andrew gets the idea that this is the land of the free, home of the brave. It's not and hasn't been for a long, long time.
Because I don't even know what jurisdiction they believe they have. I think this is the second time I've been to Florida in my life. Before this, I was here for 3 days. So I don't know what they're intending, but I am extremely disappointed. I am genuinely disappointed that after flying to my home nation, the country I was born in, the country my father served for, the country I hold the passport of, they've decided, because of media spin and slurs, to instantly attack me. And very correctly, as you pointed out, this is not a matter of trying to solve a crime. They can't even identify a crime. They're just trying to pin something on me because they don't like me. And what happened when I landed is that as I left the airport, my electronics were seized, which I'm assuming are the search warrants he's talking about. So my phones and laptops were already seized before I even saw the media.
Remember, he's not a foreigner. He's an American, let's just call it what everybody calls it, citizen. He's a human being, but he's an American. An American who got his electronics confiscated when they don't even suspect that he has committed a crime. They can't articulate a crime they're investigating him for, period. That should never happen to any American, ever.
When I landed, state police took all of my electronics, took everything, and told me there was an open investigation into me. I guess this is the search warrants he's talking about. So if you pull back up his tweet, it's very interesting. He says, based on preliminary investigations. Well, the preliminary investigations, there we go. Last week, I directed my office to work with our law enforcement partners to conduct a preliminary inquiry into Andrew and Tristan Tate. That's not true, because you didn't even know I was coming to Florida. So that is a lie, sir. What you did is you found old YouTube videos I made, which I have debunked 1,500 times. But of course, the enemy always ignores the debunk and just continues to play them on repeat over and over. Use them as an excuse to seize all of my electronics on landing. I'm now in Florida. They have all of my electronics, and I guess they're going through it, trying to find a crime. I'm very confident they won't, but we also know how ridiculous prosecutors can be. So here I am, expecting to be welcome in my host nation, and it turns out they're the Stasi. This is worse than Romania. This is communism in and of itself. I'm truly disgusted, and if I be honest, there's a lot of rumors flying around. I got a phone call from somebody very important who told me that the DeSantis crew are extremely worried that I was going to support Byron against his wife in the Floridian governor elections. I'm new to this. I don't know anything about Floridian politics. I didn't even know DeSantis and Trump didn't get along. I didn't know any of this. I'm just a man after 3 years who flew home, and everyone's telling me that you're a political pawn and you can motivate and activate the masculine youth and you're going to get them all to vote against his wife. And that's why they're trying to take you out politically, because Trump supported the guy against his wife. And this is brand new to me. So I'm just in the middle of this being told that I'm the one who's going to be deciding the next governor of Florida with no idea what's even going on. It's truly, truly incredible.
It is incredible. And it's interesting that you say that, because I never supported DeSantis for president. I just saw right through him. It was very obvious to me that he was not his own man, which is to say that he moves according to what his donors want. And because every single person that I don't respect, meaning the neocons who have never supported Trump, got behind DeSantis and were passionate about him or fighting for him, made me go, you know what, that's a man that I can't trust.
Now, it's interesting that she says this about donors. He's not his own man. He moves according to what his donors want. For her to support Trump, who also moves according to what his donors want, is her being a hypocrite and being blinded to her own bias toward Donald Trump and away from Ron DeSantis. The truth is, they both are not neither of them are their own man, and they are both operating according to what their donors want. Specifically for Donald Trump, he's operating according to what Elon Musk and Miriam Adelson and AIPAC wants him to do. He is not his own man. He is being controlled just like Ron DeSantis is being controlled, period.
I don't know who's running that campaign or who's running his ideas, but it's not Ron DeSantis, okay? Yeah. And so what I think happened was, as soon as you landed, because we saw it happening live on X, I mean, neocons were saying crazy stuff. They were saying deport him. I'm like, what do you mean deport? We didn't even deport Jeffrey Epstein. And he got convicted of crimes. By the way, I should mention, in Florida, when he just got house arrest for actually crimes against minors, that all happened in the state of Florida. And I have never seen that same group of neocons radically speaking about Jeffrey Epstein. Nothing. They're silent about all those matters, but they freak out about you. I saw it happening live. And then now you're telling me that as soon as you landed in the state of Florida as an American citizen, the state rolled up and seized your electronics. Under what pretext? What did they say to you?
That is totally unacceptable for any American to be applauding tyranny coming against Andrew and Tristan Tate. Again, no matter what you think of them, what you think their past is, this should not happen to any American ever.
Well, exactly right. It's kind of it's very, very interesting. They fear me so heavily. They talk about me like I am the devil incarnate, and I've never been convicted of any crime anywhere on the planet ever. They fear me because of my political power. They fear me because I can galvanize the masculine youth in any direction that I believe fit. And I serve our commander.
That's probably true, unfortunately.
Commander-in-chief. I believe in all of the prepositions of Donald Trump. If Donald Trump believes Byron is going to be a better governor of Florida than DeSantis' wife, I'm likely going to agree with him. And I guess that's why they decided to attack me. When I landed, the customs officers sat there and said, we have to go through all of your phones and all of your laptops. And I said, why? And they said, we've been instructed from the absolute top level to search every single thing about your life. And I said, well, I don't see a warrant. This is very interesting. They said, if you don't tell us the passwords, we're going to seize them. I said, well, you're welcome to seize them, sir. I don't talk to police. I don't tell passwords. Go break it with your little software. Go bust in. And from that second, the criminal investigation was open before I even landed on Floridian soil. So it turns out, if from what I understand, I'm caught in some power struggle for Floridian politics. They fear me for some reason, and they're going to pretend I'm the worst person in the world. And any of these people on Twitter who want to come and attack me over some video I made 10 years ago, they need to wake up. The people who are in charge of this country are stealing your money. They're sending it to foreign wars. They're blowing little children to pieces. They're the ones going to Epstein Island, and they divert all of the negative attention for their heinous acts towards me, and you believe it. They say I'm the...
You could easily slide Donald Trump into what he just said. Easily. Because he is a Zio puppet.
Bad guy so often.
But for some reason, Candace Owens and Andrew and Tristan Tate refuse to see that.
That you believe I'm the bad guy, not the people who are stealing your money and blowing people to pieces in foreign wars. I've never been convicted of any crime in my life. You can walk down to the mall and walk around the mall and you'll walk amongst people who have been convicted of crimes. I've been investigated for 5 solid years by 4 different agencies and never convicted. I'm one of the most innocent people on the planet. And here I land in my host nation and they start again. It's truly, truly saddening.
I really doubt that Andrew Tate is one of the most innocent people on the planet.
I know that this
just because you haven't proven guilt doesn't mean that he isn't guilty of some major, major crimes. But again, the prosecuting attorney, the state of Florida, the state police who picked up his laptop and his electronics had nothing to go on in order to initiate that.
He's just trying to make a name for himself and he thinks he's a smart ass. But in fact, I have a strong suspicion once they find out that my phones and laptops are empty and I haven't even been in Florida for more than 4 days in my life, that they're going to look pretty dumb when they have absolutely nothing to get me on. So then what happens, right? But I don't know how far and how crazy these people are. I don't know to what lengths they're going to make crap up to try and save themselves after this complete clown show. Why?
Because they could, with his electronic equipment in their possession, they could put something on his phone and on his laptop and say, see, here's what Andrew Tate's involved in. And then how is he going to prove that he wasn't involved in that?
Why didn't they just investigate me in quiet? Let's pretend this is about law and order and they're truly concerned for the citizens of Florida. Then follow me around with secret police and investigate me in quiet. And if you find something, arrest me. Why the song? Why the dance? Why the press? Why the public? Why are you doing all of this if you're not trying to divert people away from the important things? The important things like all the actual crime and corruption that's happening. I had no interest at all in Floridian politics. I actually, truthfully, thought Ron DeSantis was a good governor. And that's why I gave him the benefit of the doubt and didn't even destroy him yesterday on Patrick Bet-David. I was very kind to him. Yes, he failed a competency test. Yes, he failed. But I could have been far worse. I could have completely destroyed him and made a clown of him. But I actually thought maybe he's a pretty good governor. I don't know. I knew he was good under COVID. I thought he was a pretty good guy. As far as I knew Ron DeSantis before I flew here, he was a good guy. Turns out I was absolutely and utterly wrong.
Another interesting thing about this, too, is a resident of Florida is Donald Trump. Why is Donald Trump allowing this to happen? And why doesn't he override what the state police and the attorney general are doing?
You know, a couple of things frustrate me about this. The first thing is the amount of people that are weighing in on your Romanian case who have never read, they have no idea what the case is about. And the first way that you know that they don't know what it's about is because they keep showing videos of you from before the time that they're even referring to on the case. Like I actually took the time to read through that case and I came out and I explained everything to everyone slowly with, you know, names, details, everything. And I said, here is why I do not think that this case is going to go through in Romania. I made a prediction years ago that it was going to get dismissed because of a lack of evidence. Okay. And I got hammered for that. Oh, Candace, look at this video of him here. Guys, I don't care about if I'm the person doing the Harvey Weinstein series. I don't care about anything but the actual evidence that is in the case. And I'm telling you what I'm looking at and it's not good. Then that happens. Then the courts agree with me years later and they say there's not enough evidence, so we're going to send it back down. We're going to overturn this and you're going to have to bring up new charges. We're still going to keep this open, whatever it is that they say. And there's no like, oh, okay, maybe there's something here that I'm missing. Maybe I should actually, if I'm this passionate about Andrew Tate and I hate him so much, maybe I should try to read and understand what it is they're prosecuting against Romania. No, they don't want to do work. They want to pick a side and they want pitchforks and they want to go after people based on mob mentality. And the thing is, I believe in due process and I'm calling on people to understand that somebody landing who has not been convicted of a crime in their home country, who has the police swarm them and say, give us all of your technology because we're launching a preliminary investigation because neocons are upset, is problematic for all of us. Okay, it's problematic left and right for all of us.
Totally agree with everything she just said. It is problematic. It is a violation of due process of law, no matter who they're doing this to. If they haven't charged you with a crime, they should not be able to get a warrant and seize your personal items. You should be free. You have the right to be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects. And they made him insecure. They violated his Fourth Amendment right. Leave your thoughts about this. Regardless of what you think about Andrew Tate, that he might be a scummy dude or whatever, do you really think that the state of Florida and the prosecutors and the attorney general have the legitimate right to take away your stuff in violation? Because it looks like a violation of the Fourth Amendment. What do you think? Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.